All right, ready to ditch those travel brochures and take a deep dive with me?
Always up for an adventure. Where are we headed?
This time we're off to a town that's basically a real-life fairy tale Rothenburg, Tauber, Germany.
Ah, Rothenburg. I see you've got your eye on those charming cobblestone streets and colorful houses.
Guilty as charged. But we're not just here for the pretty pictures, right? We're digging deeper. I found this travel article, and let me tell you, it's packed with intriguing details about Rothenburg.
Oh, I bet. There's so much more to that town than meets the eye.
That's what I'm hoping we uncover. For instance, the article mentions something called the Tower of 40,000 Bones.
Wow, that name alone sends chills down your spine.
Right, it definitely piqued my curiosity.
And it hints at a past filled with stories, that's for sure. Imagine a tower standing as a testament to such a tumultuous period in European history.
Okay, now I'm both intrigued and a little spooked. But then, get this, the article also talks about St. James Church. It has these ceiling frescoes that are supposedly so beautiful they transcend time itself.
That's quite a contrast. From bones to divine beauty, Rothenburg sounds like a place of juxtapositions.
It does, doesn't it?
Yes.
So, are you ready to unpack these contrasts with me?
Absolutely. Let's delve into those cobblestone streets and uncover what makes Rothenburg tick.
The article even describes Rothenburg ob der Tauber as a medieval tapestry. What do you think they mean by that?
It's like stepping back in time, isn't it? It's not just a recreation, it's genuine preservation.
Yeah, I can see that.
The town's layout, the winding streets, those half-timbered houses, they all whisper tales of a bygone era.
It's like those buildings are holding their breath, waiting for us to uncover their secrets. And speaking of secrets, back to that Tower 40,000 Bones for a moment.
Hmm.
The article mentions something about the bones of fallen soldiers. What's the story there?
It's a somber reminder of the 30 Years' War, a devastating conflict that engulfed Europe in the 17th century. Rothenburg, despite its peaceful facade today, was right in the thick of it. Can you imagine the turmoil, the fear that must have gripped the town?
It's hard to fathom, especially when you picture those charming streets and colorful buildings. To think a place known for its beauty was once scarred by such conflict is, well, it's a lot to process.
It is. And yet from those ashes, Rothenburg rose again. It's a testament to the human spirit, don't you think? Rebuilding and finding hope even after such tragedy.
It makes the beauty of St. James Church all the more poignant. I can just picture these breathtaking frescoes untouched by the ravages of time. The article called the church a beacon of faith and artistry.
And rightfully so. Just imagine looking up at those frescoes, centuries old, yet their colors remain vibrant, their stories still so vivid. They weren't just decorations, they were expressions of faith, testaments to hope, offering solace during those turbulent times.
It's amazing to think that art can have such power, even in the midst of so much chaos.
Absolutely. Those frescoes in St. James Church weren't just painted on a ceiling, they were woven into the soul of the town, a glimmer of light during a very dark period in history.
It's like those two places, the Tower of Bones and St. James Church. They represent two sides of the same coin. The darkness and the light, the despair and the hope.
Exactly. And that duality, that's what makes Rothenburg ob der Tauber so captivating. It embraces its past, both the good and the bad, and that honesty, it resonates with people.
It reminds us that history isn't just about dates and facts in a textbook. It's about the people who lived through those times,
Yeah.
their struggles, their triumphs, and the legacies they left behind. So we've uncovered some of Rothenburg's darker side and glimpsed its beauty, but what about the everyday lives of the people who called this place home?
You're thinking about the human element of history, I see.
Exactly. The article mentioned a couple of museums that seem like good places to dig into that. The Tower Museum and, wait for it, the German Christmas Museum.
Sounds like an intriguing pairing.
Right. Now, I love a good museum, but a whole museum dedicated to Christmas.
Yeah.
Color me intrigued.
They might seem worlds apart, but both offer really unique perspectives on Rothenburg's identity. The Tauber Museum, that's where you'll really journey through the daily lives of the residents throughout history.
So we're talking less about kings and battles, more about the actual people, right?
Precisely. It's not about the grand narratives, but about the tools they used, the clothes they wore, the things they cherished. The article mentioned a collection of guild signs, for example.
Guild signs, like for the different trades and crafts.
Exactly. And imagine these weren't just advertisements. Each one, representing a different trade, was a symbol of pride, of incredible craftsmanship, and of community.
Wow, I can just picture those signs displayed throughout the town.
Right. And strolling through centuries ago, You'd see those signs proudly displayed, each telling the story of the people who dedicated their lives to their craft,
It's like we could step right into the heart of the town's working class.
and get a real feel for their skills, the things they built, and how they contributed to Rothenburg's legacy. And then, of course, there's the German Christmas Museum.
Which sounds like a complete 180 from everything else we've talked about.
A bit of whimsy never hurt anyone. Think of it as a celebration of tradition and festivity.
Okay, I can get on board with that.
It dives into the history of Christmas in Germany, showcasing those charming, handcrafted ornaments we often associate with German Christmas markets today.
You mean those intricate glass baubles and nutcrackers?
Exactly. The museum traces their origins, the craftsmanship, the symbolism, and how these decorations became synonymous with a traditional German Christmas. Learning about the artisans, the skills passed down, those delicate treasures.
Each one carrying a piece of their heritage and artistry.
Precisely. They become much more than just decorations, don't they? They become vessels of tradition, passed down through generations. And it connects people to their past and to each other.
That's beautiful. That sense of continuity, of holding on to those traditions, seems so central to Rothenburg's identity.
Absolutely.
It's fascinating how a place so steeped in medieval history finds ways to keep those traditions alive. Speaking of layers of history, the article briefly mentions something called the 40 oldest and 40 largest churches. Is that as impressive as it sounds?
It definitely sparks the imagination. While the article didn't go into specifics, just imagine the sheer volume of history contained within those walls.
Wow, yeah.
Each church, a testament to faith, to architectural ingenuity, to the evolution of religious practices over centuries. It makes you wonder, what stories could those churches tell?
We've covered a lot of ground here. History, art, tradition. But what about the food?
Ah, yes. The heart of any travel experience.
When I picture Germany, I immediately think of those hearty meals, giant pretzels, and of course all that amazing beer.
Right. The article highlighted traditional Bavarian cuisine, and it did sound rather tempting.
It's making me hungry just thinking about it. But it's more than just about filling your stomach, isn't it?
You've hit the nail on the head. Food is such a powerful connection to the soul of a place, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. What better way to experience a culture than through its cuisine?
Those recipes passed down through generations, local ingredients, those meals shared in cozy taverns. You're tasting the flavors of Rothenburg's history and culture.
It's about slowing down, taking a bite, and really savoring the essence of where you are.
Precisely. It's the same kind of mindful exploration we were talking about earlier, wandering those streets, appreciating the art, engaging all your senses.
And speaking of engaging the senses, the article also mentioned the Tauber River, describing it as this peaceful, picturesque setting.
Oh, imagine that. The gentle flow of the water, reflections of those colorful houses shimmering on the surface.
It sounds idyllic.
The scent of fresh air, maybe even a hint of pine from the surrounding forests. It's a perfect contrast to the heart of the town.
A moment of tranquility amidst those layers of history.
Precisely.
It sounds like Rothenburg has it all. The history, the art, those charming traditions, delicious food, and even a touch of nature. We've really gone beyond the usual travel brochure today.
We've peeled back the layers, explored the contrasts, and I think we've gotten a sense of the soul of this incredible town.
It's like Rothenburg ob der Tauber is whispering to us, come and get lost in my story. I know I'm ready to book that flight.
And as you wander those cobblestone streets, let your imagination really run wild. Picture the artisans, the families, the moments of joy and sorrow, all those stories that unfolded within those walls.
It's amazing to think about.
Listen closely, and you might just hear the echoes.
What a thought. To our listeners, we hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity. Take a moment, close your eyes, and just imagine yourself transported to Rothenburg ob der Tauber.
Feel that history beneath your feet.
Marvel at the artistry.
And savor that magic of a place where time seems to stand still.
Who knows? Maybe it will inspire your next adventure. Until next time.